That was one of the iconic scenes from the 1997 movie Titanic. And it was one of the scenes that actually stood out to me as a music enthusiast. Hi everyone, my name is King Worship and welcome to another episode of A Hymn for Him. And our first hymn is a hymn that was alleged to be the last piece played by the band before the Titanic sank in 1912. And that hymn is Neera, My God to Thee. Neera, My God to Thee was written by Sarah Fuller Flower Adams, and the original music was written by her sister, Eliza Flower. Sarah was born on February 22nd, 1805, and she passed on August 14th, 1848. Sarah was a British poet, a hymn writer, and an aspiring theatre actress. The story behind this hymn says that after a stellar performance as Lady Macbeth in Shakespeare's 1837 production of Macbeth, Sarah anticipated a great acting career ahead of her, but unfortunately, health problems disrupted those plans. Because of this, she began to find comfort in writing. She wrote poems and hymns with her sister, Eliza Flower. Now, Sarah's pastor was putting together a book of hymns, and he wanted to feature the sisters' work. He was also looking for a hymn that would fit his sermon for the next week. And that hymn was based on the message of Jacob's experience with God, Jacob's ladder, taken from Genesis 28, verses 11 to 19. Now, Sarah, being that enthusiastic writer that she is, volunteered to write that hymn for him to fit his sermon. By the next week, that hymn was written. The sisters continued to write hymns throughout their times together, but unfortunately, Sarah's sister, Eliza, she was struck with tuberculosis, and Sarah stood by her sister and nursed her sister until she passed. Soon after, she also contracted tuberculosis and passed. She left no descendant, but she left this hymn with us, Neera, My God to Thee. Here to present this hymn to you is a friend, minister, worshiper, originally from Nigeria and lives in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welcome Otto as he presents Neera, My God to Thee.
Rain
Thank you, Otto, for ministering in that hymn. I can tell that it is one that you love. And now we move on to our second hymn for today. That hymn is called It Is Well With My Soul. This hymn is one of the iconic hymns that everyone can relate to and everyone can just find comfort in. This hymn was written by Horatio Spafford in 1873, and the music was written by Philip Bliss. This hymn was written after Mr. Spafford had a traumatic series of events in his life. Firstly, Mr. Horatio Spafford was a successful lawyer and investor. The first thing that happened to him was he lost his 4-year-old son to scarlet fever, which affected him financially. Then, number 2, he lost a significant amount of property to a great fire. Thirdly, his business was then hit by an economic downturn. Amidst all of that chaos and trouble that he experienced, he decided to take a vacation with his family and to travel to England just to ease their mind and comfort and cheer them up. But because he was a businessman, he stayed back for a business meeting and sent his wife and 4 daughters ahead with plans of meeting up with them. But tragedy struck again. That vessel with his wife and 4 daughters sank, killing over 200 persons, including his 4 daughters. His wife was the only survivor of his family, and she sent a telegram to him with these words: "Saved alone." Now, you could understand why he wrote this hymn. When he decided to meet his wife, who survived and she was in England waiting for him, on that vessel that he was traveling on, they gave him the opportunity to see where the ship sank. And on passing that area, in that very moment, that moment itself inspired the words to this hymn. It is well with my soul. Welcome my friend Delphine as she comes to present this hymn.
When peace like a river attended my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever
Thank you, Delphine, for being a part of A Hymn for Him. It is always a pleasure bringing this series to you every Sunday, hoping that everyone is learning and having an idea of how the inspiration came for these hymns of old that are beautiful and that have impacted lives for generations. So we've come to the end of another episode of A Hymn for Him. I'm your host, King Worship. Before we leave, I want to give a shout out to those who have been liking, who have been leaving comments, who have been subscribing to these series. And so I'm grateful and I'm thankful to God for all that He's done. This is for Him. All right, this is for Him. So I want to shout out Kadero Telesford. Thank you for always viewing and giving your feedback. I want to shout out Elisha also, who is always tuned in every Sunday. I want to shout out my mom. You will see her on another episode to come. And most definitely, I'll let you know when A Hymn for Him will be going live. As always, I am King Worship, encouraging you to worship the King in spirit and in truth. See you next week.